Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Samurai 5.0. We are back in our office, studio office, and we're really excited that we're back here. And I have a great guest with us today. Our intent with Samurai 5.0 is to really showcase and feature inspiring individuals. And these are business owners, entrepreneurs, people that are just starting up, or people that are maybe reinventing themselves in business. And we have a great guest today who is also a born and raised Calgarian, and I meet so many born and raised Calgarians, it's crazy. So this is Faiz, and I hope I don't say this wrong because I wrote it down specifically so that I wouldn't. So I'm going to say
you got it.
Khaku. Damn it, I wrote it down so that I wouldn't do that.
Close enough. It's all good.
Sorry,
it's all
Faiz.
Good. No, it's all good.
So Faiz is the owner of TrueMortgage, and this is a topic that is, there's so much that we don't know about this, and I'm really excited because we're going to dive into some things that you are going to want to know. So Faiz, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, and what is TrueMortgage?
Like you said, born and raised in Calgary. Never left, never went anywhere out here, and as is my wife as well too. Born and raised in Calgary, went to junior high together. Have had my entire career here in Calgary. Actually came into finance accidentally, working at a bank part-time, paying my way through school for computer science, actually.
Oh, wow.
And I left comp-sci and pursued my finance degree. And after 20 years in banking and finance, here I am with TrueMortgage.
Interesting. And I mean, it makes sense. Banking, finance, it's not like a complete stretch, but certainly having your own business, going from, having a corporate job to owning your own business is a leap. And
it was, for sure. It definitely was. But, after spending all this time with the banks and learning what I learned, the biggest thing I found is the lack of education that clients we're experiencing. It's that old saying, you don't know what you don't know. And that's the one thing I found. Clients were coming in blind saying, well, what do we do? That's one of the reasons I set up TrueMortgage, is to provide that advice, to provide that education to clients more importantly, so they can make informed decisions. House is the biggest investment you're going to make, and you should be informed when making it.
And you are so right. We don't know what we don't know. There's sort of a top line bit of information. We think that's all we need to know. And it's so complex. There's so much more to it.
It is.
So would you consider yourself a mortgage broker, or how would you describe the service that TrueMortgage has? So
yes, I am a licensed through the province of Alberta as a mortgage broker. I classify myself as a solutions-based broker. And people say, well, what is a solutions? I actually joke around. People say, what do you? I'm a solutions broker. And they're like, what's a solutions broker? Starts a conversation. So the reason I'm a solutions broker is because, people, when they're ready to buy a house, usually the first question they ask is, well, what's the best rate? Well, you know what? Let's look at it a little bit deeper. It's not just about the rate. It's about finding the right solution for you. There's a lot that goes into a mortgage, like you were saying. There's lots that goes into a mortgage. And I want to make sure that I provide the right information. Everyone's situation is different. Employment, credit, down payment, a lot of factors go into marital breakdowns. A lot of factors go into a mortgage and an approval. And we want to make sure that you're well educated. And chances are you're going to get the best rate anyways. So let's find you the right product, and the rate will be there. People are scared that you only go to a broker if you've got bad credit and they're going to charge you a high interest rate. Majority of my clients are clients with A credit, and we can usually match, if not beat, what the banks are offering.
That's such a good point. You're going to get the best rate anyway. So let's look a little deeper into some of the other things that you may need or not need.
Absolutely.
When you're looking for a mortgage solution. I love it. Solutions broker.
Solutions broker.
We need solutions brokers to help us, navigate through all of this. So how long ago did you start TrueMortgage?
So TrueMortgage is entering its third year now. And it's been a phenomenal journey. We've been growing. Actually, we've been doubling our client base every year since we've started.
Oh, wow.
So knock on wood. We want to, and I want to continue doing that. We're actually up to a team of 4 now. So I have myself and a team of 4 junior brokers that we're training, mentoring, and coaching on how to become the next leaders in
Wonderful.
In the mortgage industry. So
yeah, because when we first met, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it just you?
It was just me. It was me
that was,
and a laptop.
Yeah.
And my kitchen table, and that's how it started. And now we are blessed. We have some office space in Calgary. Like I said, we have a team, and our growth is going through the roof.
That's fantastic. And I mean, we're in a unprecedented time, which perfect storm for a business like yours. However, that doesn't mean that everyone in the space is going to be successful. Sometimes that frenzy can cause challenges too. Have there been any challenges that you've had to face since you started?
You know what? The biggest thing is, going back to my point, clients don't know what they don't know. So the biggest thing I found is we had a surge of people come in and wanted advice, wanted help. You know, it's easy to look for a mortgage when things are, skies are blue, sun is shining. But when dark clouds come, like COVID and everything that's happened over the last 15 months, you don't know what to look for. You don't know what you need to know. And that was probably the biggest challenge. Is reason we had to grow the team is clients were coming to us and wanting advice and wanting knowledge. And what should I do? Do I defer my payments? Do I refinance? What do I do? And this was our opportunity to provide as many people with advice as we could. And our goal was, at the end of the day, making people better tomorrow than they were today, making them just a little bit better. And we found that's where our growth is coming from. Our majority of our clients, majority of our business is word of mouth. Clients that we've helped have referred us to their family and friends, and passing on that knowledge. Yeah,
I mean, I can certainly see that in a business like this, and you find somebody that you trust, respect, and that gives you a solution, not just trying to get the sale. Because I do find in this space that it would be a lot of that, just kind of get the sale.
You're right.
But
you're right. And what I teach and preach to my team is, funny enough, mortgage is a byproduct of what we do. We are not in the mortgage business. We are in the relationship and education business. We want to build relationships. Smart. We want to get out and be part of the community, talk to as many people as we can, and educate them on mortgages, on finance, on budgeting. Mortgage just happens to be the byproduct of what we do.
So smart. Such a great approach, because this is a long-term approach, right? You want to have some long-term generational
absolutely
business. So your industry then isn't a lot like some others that have had ups and downs. You've been pretty much just on an up.
So far, yes, we've been on an up. And after being in banking and finance for 20 years, there are definitely ups and downs in the real estate market. I know you've had a couple of real estate folks on Samurai before, and there are ups and downs. But what I find is, when you're very transactional based, when it's only about the mortgage, in my case, you're going to feel those ups and downs more. If you're in the relationship industry and you're in the education industry, it's easier to kind of make it a steady line versus ups and downs and ups and downs. And that was our goal. That was my goal from the get-go, is make it consistent. I have a family to feed as well, as we all do. And the best thing I can provide for them is a level of consistency as well too, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. And then sort of with that education piece, your clients' expectations are managed.
Exactly.
Versus one of the things we may be getting to it, I can't remember what order, but one of the things you said yesterday when we were chatting was, we are going to get to it later, so I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay.
I just realized it's one of the next questions. So are you just in Alberta, or how does that work?
So my license personally is in Alberta. However, my brokerage, Axiom Mortgage Solutions, we've got offices across Canada. So I've got clients in BC, Ontario. We've got clients all over the place. So I'm helping one right now. They're moving from Alberta to the east, and we're helping with the sale of their property and a new mortgage for the new purchase in their new city.
So lots of people
we can help everywhere
in these times for various reasons, right? Motivated by great prices, motivated by a need and a want to be closer to family. Maybe it's whatever. There's a lot of people.
And even a lot of people coming back to Calgary. I've helped a lot of people that had moved away and now want to resettle back into Calgary. So
lots of activity.
Never a dull moment.
So what are a couple of things that you could identify, tell people that they need to be looking for? Like they don't even know, right? Like we said earlier, they don't know what they don't know. So before they begin looking for a mortgage, what are a couple of things you would say?
First and foremost, remember your situation is unique. Don't compare yourself to family and friends. Oh, my friend got this, or my brother got this rate, or whatever. Your situation is unique. And remember that. Go in with that mindset. Your situation is unique. Secondly, rate is not everything.
Yeah.
One of the first questions we get, what's your best rate? And you know what? I'm okay getting that question because that's really the only thing clients generally know what to ask. Well, what else do I ask? They don't know about mortgages, amortizations, terms and conditions, legal contracts. It can get scary. Well, what's the best rate? So it's funny. I usually have fun with clients with that. And I say, well, do you know what your car payment is? And clients like right to the penny. They know what their car payment is. And what's the interest rate on your car loan? And a lot of them couldn't tell you. Unless it's 0%, they couldn't tell you what the interest rate is on their car loan.
Right.
So I go back and I say, well, you know what? Budget is probably the most important thing. You can say you make X amount of dollars a year and you're approved for $500,000. But is that really what you want to spend? Let's focus on your budget. Let's build a mortgage around your budget. If you want to spend $1,500 a month for a mortgage payment, let's build a pre-approval around
based on that.
Exactly, right?
Not the other way around.
Not the other. And that's what a lot of people come to me. They're like, well, I talked to my bank or I talked to somebody else and they say I'm approved for this. You're right. You could be approved for this dollar amount, but is that what you want? This is what the payment's going to be. Oh, you know what? That's actually not what I want to spend.
Yeah.
So budgeting is probably one of the key components that I try to educate my clients.
Yeah. Good. And that's the thing, when I almost spilled the beans a couple of minutes ago, that was the key one that I wanted to, to talk about, was the fact that we sort of do that. We compare, well, so-and-so got this, and it's just not relevant.
It's not relevant. And really at the end of the day, how often do you share your mortgage details with your family and friends? You don't.
Never.
It comes up at the beginning of the conversation. Oh, I got this, or you should go talk to my guy or whatever. After that, you're not having that conversation around the dinner table. So what is your mortgage rate?
No, and all of the details that haven't
it's unique.
Yeah.
It's your personal situation, and I'm here to guide you through that, right? So
exactly. So what would be, if any, like what would be maybe a pitfall or something that people should watch out for when they start this search?
What I call the bait and switch. So you'll see a lot of low rates advertised, get this rate for 5 years or whatever. And really it applies to a very small percentage of the population. So that's why it's so crucial to remember your situation is unique. Let's look at the overall picture and find you the right solution. Chances are the right solution is going to get you the right rate and payments and everything. I'd say the second pitfall is the budget. Budget planning is a huge pitfall. Clients, for example, first-time buyers will be renting at $1,500 a month and assuming, well, if I'm paying $1,500 in rent, I can pay $1,500 in mortgage payment. But there's other things to consider: property taxes, utilities, upkeep and maintenance. And that's something I talk to clients about with our
condo fees, if there are
condo fees. Exactly. Yes. So those are probably the biggest pitfalls, is unfortunately, the lack of education.
Yeah.
And we do what we can to educate the clients. So
So you've mentioned it a couple of times now around budget planning. I agree. I don't think that even comes into the equation. It's always, what rate can I get and what am I paying now? Yeah, you're right. So what would you say would be the most frequently asked question or questions that you get from
like I said before, what is your best rate? What is the best rate? And I do love that question, because right off the hop, that tells me that client wants education. They want to to learn more, but they don't know where to start. They don't know what to ask. And that's the first question they ask. So yeah, that is definitely by far the number one question I get. What's your best rate? And I joke around. I'm like, if you're asking me what my best rate is, you probably know. You've gone online, you've done your Googling.
You're right.
Best rate Calgary or whatever it is, and you've seen all the rates that come up. So, and I'm like, you know what the best rate is. What is your why? Why are you calling me? What is motivating you? Excuse me. What's motivating you to buy a house? Why are you moving? Why are you doing this? What is the why? That is the crucial, what is the why? And that opens up a whole great conversation because now we know why they're doing it. Maybe you want to be closer to a school for your children. You're going through a marital breakdown. You're self-employed and you need you need to maybe downsize or whatever the case may be, or upsize, or whatever your situation may be. So yeah, it's very unique to each person.
Different solution for all of these various circumstances.
Absolutely.
Possibly, right? So, so you talked about budget planning.
Yes.
And yesterday when we talked, I was really excited about a product that you have.
Yes.
That everyone should have, which is
a budget planner.
Budget planner.
Yeah. So I've put together a budget planner, which I share happily with anyone that wants it. There's no cost, no charge, no hidden, nothing. It's just a budget planner, which I feel everyone should have. I use it myself in our household, and it goes over everything. Your current income. It also has a section for projected income. So if you feel that there's certain goals you want to reach, or you might be getting a salary increase, it's got a projected income, and you're able to put in every single expense that you could possibly think of, from your day-to-day utilities, car payments, insurance, the big ones, RESPs for the kids if you're putting away savings, your streaming services, how much you're spending on your Netflix and your Crave and everything, to family vacations. You can put everything into that, and it'll tell you, are you red or black at the end of the month? And if you are in the negative, now we can work together and say, okay, well, if you're negative, where are areas that you can cut back? If you want to buy a house for this much money and you want to spend this much every month, where's the shortfall? Or if you're green, great. Now we can move forward and we can see. And it's a great tool because, I'm guilty of it. I have my coffee card that I just reload and I swipe it every time I go get my Java. But how much are you spending every month on that? Right?
Yeah.
So
how many people do you think have really loose idea of those kinds of expenses, like the little subscriptions for things, and your Netflix and your Amazon and your iCloud storage, everything, and your Starbucks card, all that stuff? I was guilty of it myself. Being in finance for 20 years, I thought I had a good idea of my budget, and I did. But until I created this planner, and it does all the calculations for you. So you literally just have to put in you just have to put in the numbers. It'll calculate the pluses and minuses, and it'll do all the calculations for you. Wonderful. So even if you're saving for a vacation, you can put that in and you can budget that in there. So now you know how much you need. I love that. I want to get one. It's coming your way. I'm pretty good, but I'm not that good. And I think it would just be so helpful. Plus I love keeping track of things in that type of format. So you would make this available to anybody, regardless. Anyone. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just an education piece. Yeah. And once again, if I am able to help you with your mortgage with that, great. But it's an education piece. Everyone should have it. I give it to my clients all the time, or even people that just call and say, I'm looking for some advice. Happy to share it with you. Perfect. So we'll share that later, how to reach out to Faiz for that budget planner, because everyone needs to be using this budget planner. So let's switch gears a little bit. You have a beautiful website, and I know that because we built it here at StyleLabs. Yeah. And when you first came to us, it was, I'm going to say 16 months ago. Yeah, about that. And so tell us about your experience with StyleLabs, what that was like, and talk a little bit about your website and how it's working for you. So when I came to StyleLabs, I'd done my own research, and the one thing I was unhappy with all my research is I found most brokers had the same old website. You go on, you see the mortgage rates, a little bit about me, and that was pretty much it. Well, I didn't want to do that because that wasn't why I started True Mortgage. I wanted it to be different. I wanted it to make an impact in people's lives. So when I found StyleLabs, I found the reason I went with them is because our energies were the same. Our whys were the same. We're here to help make things better. So when I gave my idea of what I wanted in a website, they were like, this is exactly what we can do for you. And one of the biggest things that I loved is the website has a client journey on there. And I think that's one of the biggest things clients don't realize. What do I expect when I do a mortgage? What is there to expect? And the journey is on there. It goes step by step what you need to expect and what you're going to expect.
And that's what
they're going to go
about.
through
Exactly.
and what the solution, how your
Exactly.
solution services are
Exactly.
going to help them. And I remember when you came in here that day and we talked, and you talked a lot about your why and how important it was to you. And that is so important to us as well. We're not just cranking out websites and letting you flounder around and figure it out on your own. So we know the power of the technology, but you need to figure out what to do with it.
Exactly, you do. And you know what? I'll be frank. Marketing, as much as I enjoy seeing it,
yeah,
I'm not really good at doing it. And what I liked is they gave me all the tools that I need. They give me the direction, they give me the insight, and there's a few pieces I'm still missing, and I'm guilty of that. It's work that I have to put in. It's on
work in progress.
Work in progress on my task list. I'm going to get it done. My goal is before the end of the month to get it done. But I can see the tangible the benefits, and I can see the momentum. My site's getting views, I'm getting reviews, and people comment on it regularly, saying, yeah, your site is very different than everyone else's. So it's working.
And bringing you business, ultimately.
Bringing you business, absolutely. Getting my name out there. There's so many websites out there. There's so many people that are brokers or do whatever they do. And how do you differentiate yourself, right? Yeah. And I found StyleLabs is the best way to do that.
Yeah. So. And we feel, clients like you are ideal because, we run biweekly academies where we teach lots of our clients and anybody, academies open to anybody, to, how to use these tools and how to do things properly. And guess who's always on the academies? This guy.
Well, you know what, if I got to practice what I preach, right? I preach education. I preach try to be in control of your situation. If I've come to you for a service like websites and whatever the case may be, I need to be engaged in the process too. And not only is it the education piece, but it's the great people you meet at the academies. There's so many like-minded entrepreneurs and everything that you meet. And it's great to kind of connect that you're not alone. You are not alone, right? As the song goes, you are not alone. So different
business, different industry, but we're kind of in the same situation here.
Exactly.
It is nice. I'm glad you mentioned that because that was our intent with that as well. So I know that, we can say, because we talked about it, you learned a lot since you came in, what you thought you needed in a website, what you ended up getting in a website. So you're a perfect example of not knowing what you didn't know.
Exactly. And I still, I still don't know what I don't know. I'm learning every day. And, I follow you on Facebook, and I follow StyleLabs, and I'm always picking up new nuggets of information and trying to implement them in my business.
Yeah, perfect. So, we're all collaborating all the time, right? You're offering clients free education and help, and we're doing the same. So it's nice to be able to have that synergy. So here's a fun question for you, Faiz. What is something that people would be surprised to know about
you? A passion of mine that I just recently put into gear, so to speak. I ride a motorcycle. I know I don't come.
It cracked me up when you told me that.
I know it's
you're a badass.
I guess you could say that, right? If I could find.
No, that's fun. I get it. I do. Yeah.
So I've kind of pursued my passion of riding a motorcycle, and I'm actually working on something where there's going to be kind of a motorcycle and mortgages thing that we're gonna try to put together. And it's a fun hobby. You see a lot of people riding now. Weather's nice, and I said, how can I put the two passions together? And I think it'd be great, like a little like a little ride along, and then have a little mortgage education seminar, and then we go out on our bikes, on our hogs, and go for a rip.
Responsible motorcyclists.
Exactly. And you know what, being new to the motorcycle community, it's amazing. It's a great community, and everyone is there to support each other. And I figured, why not put the two together?
That's cool. That's great.
Stay tuned.
Great idea. See, you do have your marketing hat on. Good idea. So a couple last questions here. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs, business owners that have a dream and maybe, like you, want to do things differently?
You know what? Just do it. I started this, like I said, I'm going into year 3. I actually had the opportunity to start this many years ago, and I didn't because I was scared. I got lost in the what ifs. Well, what if it fails? What if it doesn't work? What if I can't make my mortgage payment? I got lost in the what ifs, and I settled back into the 9-to-5 life because I was scared. And when I started this 3 years ago, it was just a turning point that there is no right time to start it. There really isn't. There was a lot going on in my life when I started this, and there's never a right time. There's just the time. And the time was now. So just do it.
You did it.
And if you're doing it for the right reasons, and the why is the right reason, you will do well. You will definitely do well.
I love that. Great advice. Not easy, but great advice.
It's not easy, but it's well worth it.
So where can people find you? Where's the best place for people to reach out to you for that budget planner and all their mortgage solution needs? Where can they find you?
So I'm online with my incredible StyleLabs website. You can find me at TrueMortgage.ca. You can reach me directly on my direct line at 403-615-4343. You'll find me on Facebook. You'll find me on Instagram at TrueMortgage.ca. So I am everywhere that I can possibly be.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I don't know when the last time I saw you in the office is, but it feels like we see you all the time because you're always supporting us online and you're at the academies. We really, really appreciate that. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Reach out to Faiz if you need a mortgage solution and a budget planner, and we'll see you guys next time.
Sounds good. Thank you.